Hi everyone, Evelina from Arcadier here. Today on Inspire, we have Arcadia's design aficionado, Joseph Long. Joseph is our design and front-end lead here in Arcadia, and he's here to help everyone tuning in on the basics of UI UX and how to optimize Arcadia's impressive features to achieve your marketplace design goals. Hi Joseph, how's it going?
Hi everyone, super excited to share how we can utilize custom codes to achieve the best out of Arcadia's huge range of features, and of course design tips along the way so that everyone working on Arcadia Inspire or even their marketplace in general would know how to get the most out of it for their businesses.
I'm sure everyone is just excited to learn more. So to start, and for the sake of all our viewers out there, what exactly is UI and UX?
Well, UI and UX is actually abbreviations for user interface and user experience. So more or less go hand in hand. The user experience is more of something that's less tangible, something that is things that make what people click, people travel through web pages, what they see, how they react to things. And user interface is more of like the basis of where these buttons are placed, how things look that would enhance the user experience, more or less. Yeah. So I'll move into Arcadia's basic UI and UX then. So in terms of the platform, we've actually been up for about close to 2 years now. And in that time, we've actually gone through many interface revisions. So it's based off of constant feedback from our users, which we are very grateful for. And also observation from small user groups that we have, that we look at them, we see what they do, see where they stop, where they pause, where they start to have a bit of difficulties understanding what's going on. So that's where we actually revise it and then test it again and see if it works. And if it works, if we're happy with it, then we'll update the site again. So for our long-term customers, they actually would have noticed like these little changes going on, especially on the admin portal throughout the 2 years that we've been here. So it's these kinds of things that we want to help improve the lives of our users, make sure our platform is as easy to use as possible, so that it goes with our own belief that anyone and everyone can create a marketplace.
So where does Arcadia get their inspiration for all this UI and UX?
Well, for us, we've actually done extensive amount of research even before the platform was created. We've gone through consumer research, we've gone through market research, seeing what competitors do, seeing especially what's the best practices for e-commerce websites and even admin portals, user interfaces, consuming almost everything that we could get our hands on to make sure that we had the most usable solution out there for our users. Of course, we know that currently it's not perfect. That's why we always welcome feedback, and we're always willing to improve and change and adapt to different situations.
So what are some of the situations that you think that we've adapted to that have come up? Any examples that you can give everyone?
So one of it was, of course, the onboarding flow. So before that, we actually had quite a bulky one where we asked way too many questions. And we realized that through our research and through people using and even feedbacks at the different roadshows that we had, people found that it was a bit too long. They wanted to get to their marketplace faster. They wanted to get to the controls and features much faster, especially when we were offering a free period of time for them to use the platform. So things like that we revisited, we cut down so many different questions that we realized they could be asked later. Even the settings that they had, it could be done when they've already had the access to the admin portal. So it didn't need to be a long process before even getting to the product that they were actually looking for. So things like that we had improved in the system as well. Yeah.
Very cool. Customer feedback is very important, obviously. And then, I guess that shows that everybody's very impatient to get to what they want. So previously you talked about how Arcadia's UI UX is also on best practices along with, like research and everything. What are the best practices that are typical amongst UI and UX? Just very brief for everybody who's listening.
So the idea that we had behind Arcadia's themes and the visual layout of what we have is to actually create a very clean and minimalistic style. This was because we wanted to give a blank canvas for our users to create any and every kind of marketplace while still providing them with the visual aesthetic of something that looks great so that they can have their business on a platform that actually provides easy usage, but still providing a high level of visual aesthetics for their users. And the businesses and use cases that we get on our platform on a daily basis are very diverse, and it's really interesting to actually see all these different ideas use our products. And we've of course had like many requests, different questions, and we're always very happy to answer them, which is why I believe that it doesn't just stop at where we offer off the shelf. There's actually more solutions that we actually can offer that will bring them even further into what they want their business to be.
Yeah, we definitely get a lot of interesting requests and interesting marketplaces being built on us for sure. So I guess on that, do you think that the layouts and themes will be a one-stop solution for every marketplace, or what are your thoughts on this?
As a basic product, I would say that I'm confident that it can support most marketplace ideas, about 80% of what we've scoped for. However, we also understand that with businesses, they need to grow, and that everyone has a specific unique thing that they want for their marketplace that the current off-the-shelf solution may not offer, or even special branding that they want to have their websites to look like. And that's where actually the custom code comes in.
So what does that mean for Arcadier's users who wanted to diversify their marketplace further? What's custom code exactly for all the newbies or people who aren't so aware of what is on Arcadia?
So custom code is actually 3 different tools that we've enabled for our users for them to actually put in custom HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I know that to most users, they'll be like, what's that? It's like technical jargon. So we of course won't leave our users hanging. We've actually have a team of custom coders on the website. The contacts are available. We even have an internal team of experienced users that work with us directly in terms of achieving these custom codes. So what these are is that extra codes to specific for your marketplace to help enhance the experience, enhance the look and feel, even have different new buttons, things that you want to do that the off-the-shelf solution might not be able to achieve. But with these custom codes, they can actually create a much more unique and uniquely catered experience just for you. Yep. So I'll actually go through some of the examples that we have so that our users can actually have a bigger idea of what we can achieve. Over here, as you can see, we actually have one of the marketplaces that what we've done is that quite different from what we have usually on the homepage, especially because we know that the homepage is a very important page for our users. So as you can see, you have the categories. We've hidden they wanted to show all the categories at once, so we have that, and you can actually enhance the panel design even more. And you even have the shop links here as well, using the panels feature and customizing it such that it's in a way of a thumbnail design, and all of them would link individually to the storefronts of these different merchants on the marketplace. And of course, we have again a different advertisement banner using the call to action panel feature, and of course a different layout of the images of the items. I'll go more into the panels feature. So it's a powerful tool that while it can add new content to your homepage, we understand that the current layout is quite fixed. That's where the custom coders or custom code that you can add yourself comes in to help enhance this feature to take it even further. So examples of this would mainly be for advertisement banners. Like if you have an event floor plan, you can actually give the link and you're going to map the site and the space there. And this one over here is actually a combination of both the call to action and the value proposition. So you actually have your title and your slogan, and you even have different buttons going to different sites in this small banner that you have on your homepage. And of course, your usual value propositions here. And if you don't want them to take up the whole side of your homepage, you can actually have multiple ones left and right. For this is the call to action one. And we know that what we offer is actually the latest items on your homepage, but you can also feature them and as a premium service for your merchants. So things like different items, you just put them inside your value proposition panels, link them, and with custom code, you can make them mimic exactly the same way as your website. And it's not just that. You can even have dynamic elements of animation like this hover effect that we have for the speakers, or moving on to even more dynamic stuff like videos for your backgrounds. And it's not just on the homepage. You can even do it on the item details page. As you can see here, we've actually flipped the position of the image, and we also have a different layout of the description, the custom fields, add to cart button, everything is slightly different from what we offer by default. So it's more of bringing it to the next level with our users. So this is also an example of the customization that we can have. You can even have custom loaders. Even in the calendar, we changed the calendar colors, so it's more informative. And this user, he wanted to give a legend of the different colors that were available on his site. So things like that, that's very easily achievable with the custom code. And I'll go to the next part. It's like, well, what I've shown was actually visual things. So other things that we can do that will actually only be available on the growth and scale packages is actually further functional changes for your marketplace. Because we know that you might have special search requests that the current Arcadier platform does not offer, but we actually do have a different functions and APIs available for you to customize it. So on this website, as you can see here, they've actually broken down the search into two different questions before you do it. And they actually use the custom fields API to create more filters into their search, such that you can do it even before you've inputted anything for the search. And when you do it, it will achieve like the different results that you're going for instead of just the usual text and search. It's a more customized experience to what they wanted. Yeah. And we even do like different things like changing the image cropper. Like we understand that on Bespoke, we give you a 1x1 square image, whereas from the services marketplace, you actually have a rectangle image. But what if I want, in this case for fashion marketplace, I want a portrait image? So we can actually do that as well. Changing the cropper, changing the output, have different things that help enhance the experience essentially. And it's even not just in English, but even in different languages like this Hebrew, as Hebrew actually reads from right to left, using custom code, you actually flipped the site around, which was quite impressive as well. Yep. So these are just small examples of what custom code can do for a website. I'd say the possibilities are endless. So
nice. Okay, so sorry, just to quickly clarify, because you mentioned APIs earlier and how you can create completely different flows and customization. Just for everybody's sake and clarity, what's an API?
So an API is an application programming interface. Another bunch of jargon, I know, but it's more of like different functions of and features of what we have on the Arcadier platform broken up and to be used by developers to achieve pooling of data, pushing of data. I don't want to get too in depth in that, but it's more of like with full stack developers like Refresh CX on our website, they can actually go further with the features, customize it, and change it in a way that helps go further from what the system currently offers, essentially.
Got it. Thank you for the clarification. I'm sure everyone's very grateful. Okay, and custom code. Now we've been touching on this and everything, and we've mentioned custom coders. Is this something that you think that like a lay person who has basic coding knowledge can do, or what do you recommend if somebody really wants to deep dive into this or just play around with it?
I recommend that if they have an idea of what they want, a specific layout, but they don't know how to achieve it, especially since we know coding is not everyone's cup of tea. The features that we have, the services that we have available from the custom coders is that you give us your design, you tell us what you want specifically, and we will try to achieve the best possible solution for you using custom code. And especially now when we're actually offer discount for all our users. So if you're a first time user using custom code, we actually give you a default 15% off the services of the labeled prices. And you can actually take that further with a 6-month package discount. So if you buy the package subscription, you can actually get a further 20% of a total 35% discount. So I'd say that's quite a lot of savings that you'd have. And couple that with Inspire's package of the extra 50% discount, that's quite a bit of savings, Yeah.
Nice plug. Do you hear that, everyone? Of course, there's also custom coders outside that we promote and have worked with, so everybody who's listening can also try those out as well. But we're just sharing information with you guys. Okay, so beyond custom code, I think everybody also wants to probably hear about just your thoughts on basic design stuff and what they should take into account when they're creating their marketplaces. So my first question, or a follow-up question to everything, is what do you think is the first thing users notice when they visit a website or marketplace that's very important?
So I'm pretty sure everyone would notice it as well, but the first thing you'd see when you go to your marketplace would be the hero image. So it's the cover image that you upload, and of course the slogan that you have there. Not even the header, but it's just that huge image that hits every single user when they visit. So my advice in that is that keep your image nice, have it sell your marketplace for you. But more importantly, for the slogans that you place there, have them succinct. People don't have time to read more than one sentence on landing, because when they see that, it's make or break in that few seconds before they start scrolling your site. So I'd say have your marketplace's value proposition, what you do or what you want to introduce your marketplace as, in about 5 or 6 words, place that on as your homepage slogan. Other than that, 3 other things I would say would be your categories. Your categories are really important because they're extra storytelling points for your homepage when people are browsing through. What I can advise is that the top 4 categories will be the ones that will be displayed by default on your Arcadier marketplace. Make sure that these 4 categories are what represents your marketplace best. Make sure that the images you pick for them are perfect. The words that you choose, everything should be tying in with what your marketplace does. And other than that, look at panels again. Like I said, they help populate your marketplace, help give you more value to your site, because in that few seconds that you have, it's either make or break whether these viewers on your marketplace stay or they just become another bounce number for your analytics.
Yeah, kind of going back to that first point of just everyone's really impatient, just wants to know what's going on as soon as possible and to decide whether or not they want to stay or leave. Awesome. Super useful tips. I mean, I think that goes back to the first point of everyone's super impatient, just wants to know what's going on as soon as possible and whether or not they want to stay or leave. So obviously most people creating marketplaces on Arcadier are not design gurus such as yourself. So what do you think is the most commonly overlooked design principle that you think that our users should kind of re-examine?
I'd say that images are quite overlooked. The picture speaks 1,000 words. It's something that's repeated a lot of times. But in the case of the current landscape of web surfing, people have very, very little patience. So images capture images capture attention much faster than words. So with that, you can actually communicate better. And again, the next design principle I'd say would be linking to is communication, because everyone wants information quickly. So it's good to communicate clearly. So make sure that the images you choose fit. Make sure the images you choose speak a story for your marketplace. Yeah. And another Easter egg for our users would be that if you need to use stock images but you don't want to buy them, you can actually check in the links in the video of this place that I'd recommend you can get your stock photos for like free, and they have beautiful images for you to use for your marketplace.
Free is always good. So on the subject of images, what do you think grabs people's attention the most? Like, is it homogeneous theme that people should be going for? Like, it should be specific to their marketplace. How out there can it be? Or like, what's your thoughts on how people actually choose images for their marketplace?
I'd say that aesthetic would definitely be number one. Make sure that it fits with what you have. Make sure that your images have some sort of flow. The colors work. It's not just another stock image. I know I mentioned it before, but even with stock images, there's some that you can smell that they are stock images from a mile away. So I advise to avoid those. Use more abstract kind of images. Like, you don't necessarily need to use the whole image. If one part of that stock image is useful, like the person's holding a phone in the background of a concert, but you just want to have them with the phone, you can actually try to use free picture editing software out there, crop out that image and use that as your category or your item image. So things like that actually works as well. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so what do you think is the most underutilized feature on Arcadia that you wish users would use more? This doesn't have to be design related, but it can be.
Well, I'd say that it's actually the variance feature on the retail marketplace. I noticed that quite a few users actually want this feature, but they don't really know of it. So if you actually go to your item listings and click on more options, you actually can have the variance feature that lets you add surcharges, even images per each variant combination. So things like if you're selling a shirt, you want it in gray color, blue, red, green, you can actually list all of this down and upload on each combination a different image. You can even have it on small, medium, large, and these create a matrix table for you to have a small gray shirt and a medium gray shirt or a large red shirt, and they all would be considered as a different item with their own individual stocking. So it will actually really help many different marketplaces on what their use cases would be.
Nice. Very key to differentiating, kind of also, I guess, increasing the number of beautiful images you can have that help explain what's going on. So to wrap up, do you have any other advice you'd like to give to the audience today?
I feel like I've given quite a bit, but advice would be just don't hesitate to reach out. We really appreciate feedback. It helps us grow and it helps us provide all users with a better experience. And yeah, so we won't bite. Just drop us a line and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Thank you so much, Joseph, for joining us and giving some great advice on our system, and hopefully everybody can beautify their marketplaces and learn a little something about design. Again, everyone, thank you for tuning in on today's session of Inspire, and until next time, be inspired.